Also, Marco had fantastic battaliers, and I should give you a little bit more time in between things just to make the work and the use of this easier for those of you that are going to make videos. But coming back to the battalier, there were 3 of them, I believe, and they were displaying something I'd never seen. Marco was super excited. I was lucky enough to watch some of it with you from this side. An amazing display, just really coming to show why battaliers have got those amazing colors and how they can put it to great use when they're showing themselves to other battaliers and displaying. Then Tuesday was very exciting. Just a bunch of general sightings as well. We had quite a few good zebra sightings. The stallion doing phlegmon, smelling the urine from one of his mares in the harem, and getting literally excited about the fact that she was getting into estrus. We saw them, a beautiful herd. I think there were about 9 two-foals of them, and the excitement within the group was quite interesting also from the stallion's point of view. Obviously he's looking forward to more foals. Another zebra sighting that comes to mind was following that herd all the way from Quarantine, a whole dazzle of zebra running across, the little foal jumping around all the way down to Gari Pan, and actually seeing them drinking, waiting for them to arrive, seeing them drink, seeing how some of them stand guard, and also having 3 different views of it, which was quite exciting. Generally speaking of the Pan, while we're there, quite a few interesting activities around it. For a while the water was getting low, and it was interesting to see almost a little bit of anxiety or animals being a little bit agitated around the water getting low. Maybe the best example was Wonky, that elephant bull that we've come to really appreciate over time. And speaking of time, there's no rush, we've got a few minutes. Wonky getting quite agitated, maybe just asserting himself a little bit towards some of those buffalo that wanted to come to the Pan. And it just shows you that in the bush there is still a hierarchy between species as well, especially when resources become limited. Maybe as humans we know more about that than we realize. When resources are limited, you tend to dominate other species so that you can have access to it, and that's what happened around the water. Of course it does get pumped, and that's brought a whole new bunch of activity the last few days. But before I go on about the Pan too much, there was some of the general stuff that happened around the Pan. Lots of general game as well. Kudus, nyala, bushbuck, waterbuck, the duikers that are around all the time. We saw Mojo, the mongoose, one of the nights, and also found that there was another little female around that's not as habituated, but certainly male and female in the same area. So there's a little development as well. That was during Tuesday. On Thursday, and if I get my days wrong, I apologize. Luckily we don't have to use the days with it, but we had an amazing sighting of... No, I need to check this, sorry. We had... Thursday were the Mapojos. We're going to get to them just now because that was very exciting. On Tuesday, that's it, we had 2 sightings that really were quite special, both on the afternoon drive. The first one started actually just around sunset when we drove through literally a cloud of dust and could clearly smell buffalo and could smell the dust, and from the wind direction followed the cloud of dust all the way to Buffelshoek Dam and got there just after the big herd of buffalo, that same herd that we've been seeing sporadically over the last couple of... Sorry Alex, but smoke's just getting in my face there. That same herd we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. And we watched them in infrared, lots of nice interaction, little calf and mothers, and just numbers of them, 400-500 buffalo at least. But what was really, I think which part really jumped out at us was a couple of the bulls drinking on the other side of the water, and with the infrared light reflecting across the water and just creating the wavy pattern or screening the waves onto the wall behind the buffalo with the shadow of the buffalo in front, was really an image that I think will stick with me probably forever, maybe, if we can remember all these things. And on the way back from that sighting, literally 5 minutes before the end of drive, we were just about to turn off Buffelshoek boundary, and Marco spotted that young leopard female. Brilliant spot, she was right there, and we followed her for 5-7 minutes before she disappeared into the bush. But it is one of the aspects of being live that's really exciting. It's just that surprise, that's sort of spontaneous joy almost when suddenly there's a leopard and you can follow it. I'm thinking of a few other things I was thinking of earlier, but maybe not yet. Then on Thursday, actually no, before we get to Thursday, because Thursday was a really big highlight, the Mapojos, and we're going to talk more about them now. It's something we all hold dear to our hearts in some or another way. But before we get to that, I was thinking about it earlier, just when I was running through these highlights in my own mind, that it's it's amazing how many interesting things we actually see. Every day, literally every day, whether it's a bateleur or a mongoose or an elephant or a bush baby or maybe just a beautiful sunrise or sunset or the sickle moon that's busy setting. We see beautiful things every day. Because it's live, we all share that experience, and this is partly what is very exciting, but it's also easy to forget some of them. And this is why I think these highlights are very exciting, because it's going to be little, almost like little summarized diary events of all the amazing things we see out here. So, without waiting too long, Thursday morning was a very big surprise. Already we had lions on Sunday, and then to see the mapojos again was absolutely amazing. They are lions that we all love or hate, or maybe love and hate, but certainly we feel some kind of emotion when we see them. Some of that emotion may be very primal when we see them as well, just looking into their eyes. But a great surprise, mapojos on a buffalo kill that killed a very big dagga boy. They're still on it, as you saw earlier on the drive, and certainly we'll see some more tomorrow. Just absolutely amazing. Big buffalo, the way, the place it was in, the setting of it, I really enjoyed. We almost had these tree caves, lots of guarri bush and spike thorn, and you had these sort of cavities and caverns under the leaves with these lions in there. And we had great eye contact from three of them, as we tend to get to the mapojos, just reminding us that they're not just any lions from around any block. They certainly are a force to be reckoned with by many things, and certainly are lions that I think we will, over the next few years, still come to love and appreciate, and if not love, certainly respect quite a lot. The mapojos have been a whole bunch of things happening, even though this will only be part of next week's highlights. But that hyena they killed, for instance, you saw that tonight, and just showing us again that they are not little lions just walking around. They're a serious force to be reckoned with. So the mapojos, great sighting. And if I say the word mapojos one more time, I'm going to be repeating myself way too many times. Had them again on the evening drive. Rexon was back Thursday evening. Had an amazing drive. Him and Jan went out with him, and they saw 4 of the big 5. Starting with elephant right here at Gari Pan. We had elephants there earlier today as well. And then going from elephant to a crash of rhino. Always nice to see numbers of them together, just the size and bulk of these animals. From that they went to a big herd of buffalo, literally almost driving through the herd, and ending again with these magnificent king of the beasts with the mapojos on that buffalo carcass. This morning, again, lots of predators around, mapojos still around, and also very, very exciting hyena interaction that unfortunately I missed. I was sleeping, but Rexon and them seeing fantastic hyena close to the northern boundary, most likely from a carcass they'd scavenged from a leopard, which was also seen briefly in the distance. So it's been a great week, lots of things happening. Difficult to say. I mean, everything from lions to buffalo to some smaller things, and also a whole bunch of highlights behind the scenes that Marcus shared with you earlier. And I think that's about it for now. We're going to sit around the fire a bit more. As soon as we say goodbye, the other guys are going to come sit. We're actually going to braai something on here as well, and we'll see. Maybe we do this fire thing a little bit more, and yeah, it's a bit strange. Different space to be talking to whoever you might be, but certainly enjoying it. And this is one of my favorite places. In the bush, when you're on a game drive, looking for exciting animals and just the general beauty of nature, that is something that is very special. To come back and maybe reminisce about it a little bit, talk a little bit, maybe share a few ideas and laughs around the fire is something that is a very special aspect of being in the bush, of being in Africa as well. And maybe we'll share some more of that over the next while. But for now, I'm going to say good night. I hope I remembered everything. If I didn't, you guys were there, you saw it with us, you know what was great. Put it in there, show us again. I look forward to seeing lots of beautiful videos from as many of you that want next week. And I'm going to say good night. Rex and Jan is standing here, Alex behind the camera, Marco in the live control center, and my name is Peter. All of us from WildEarth, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being part of this process. We're all learning, and it's going to be a lot of fun like everything else. And before I say too much and go on, good night, bye bye, see you in a while. Cheers.